Over the years, archaeologists have come across artifacts they happen to stumble upon. Some of these items give us a better picture of the past, or some leave us in the dark. Today we'll be taking a look at 5 unexpected discoveries recently made by archaeologists. Born on the 28th of July 1721, Pierre-Jacques Dreux and his sons were best known for the construction of 3 sophisticated androids, among all the numerous automata he built. The androids include that of the writer and the musician. Out of the 3 automata constructed by Pierre-Jacques Dreux, the writer was the first and most mechanically complex of the 3, and also the first automata. The writer is able to pen down a custom text as long as 40 letters. A goose feather is used to write, which is inserted into the ink from time to time. To avoid ink spilling, the writer shakes his wrist after dripping it in the ink. The draftsman has the ability to draw 4 different images. The automata is modelled after a young boy with a better accurate drawing than the writing of the writer. The 4 drawings include a royal couple believed to be Marie Antoinette and Louis XVI, a cupid being pulled by a butterfly in a chariot, a dog and a portrait of Louis XV. The musician is the most fascinating of the 3. The musician is a female organist that plays an original custom-built musical instrument by pressing the keys with her fingers. The music and the notes were composed specifically for her, as she can only play the notes that's directly underneath her. She has a lifelike feature that shows her breathing, along with her head and eyes that follow the movements of her fingers. The purpose of the 3 automata was to improve the sales of watches among the rich, by making them perform in royal courts in the 18th century. This ranged from King Louis XVI to Marie Antoinette. It's incredible to think these automata were built so long ago, and it's made people question that perhaps more artifacts are laying out there waiting to be discovered. Ancient prosthetic hand discovered in Switzerland. According to archaeologists, a 3,500-year-old prosthetic hand has recently been discovered in Switzerland. The prosthetic hand weighs around a pound, and is made of bronze with a gold cuff around the wrist, having a connection inside that apparently would have enabled the cuff to be mounted on a stick or pole. It's slightly smaller than an actual human-sized hand. This prosthetic hand makes it the earliest metal form of a human body part found in Europe. Using radiocarbon dating by focusing on the small organic glue that attached to the gold foil to the wrist of its carrier, the prosthetic was found to be dated as far back as the Bronze Age between 1400 and 1500 BC. The bronze hand was initially found by some treasure hunters who used metal detectors near Lake Biel. This is in the western province of Bern. Alongside the bronze hand, the treasure hunters also located a bronze dagger and a rib bone, all of which were turned into the authorities. The radiocarbon results spurred archaeologists to return to the site where the hand was found, spending around 7 weeks in the area. A badly damaged burial ground was excavated and the bones of a middle-aged man, alongside other clues that made the archaeologists believe that the bronze hand was buried with the man. Because of the poor state of the burial ground, it's difficult to say what the real purpose of the bronze hand is, either as an adornment to a statue or as a prosthetic used as part of a ritual. Another prosthetic arm said to have been made during the Victorian age can be found in the London Sciences Museum collection. The distinct-looking metallic arm is made from steel and brass and was probably used to replace the amputated arms of war veterans. The prosthetic hand is believed to have been created between 1850 and 1910, and has features of modern-day prosthetic limbs because of the multiple motions of the elbow, upper joint of the wrist and the fingers. Tunnels under Giza, Egypt. The Great Pyramid of Egypt has underground chamber tunnels, and chambers that have been off-limits and hidden to everyone but a few. At the moment they are coming into light, raising more profound questions. One of such tunnels is found under the Giza Plateau. Entrance to the secret causeway between the pyramids is an iron gate. The place is called Osiris Shaft. The shaft was originally found by Egyptologist Dr. Selim Hassim in 1933 to 1934. A few steps into the iron gate is a rectangular hole in the ground measuring 2.6 to 3 meters, with a 9.62 meter depth. There are 3 lower levels to the Osiris shaft, with the last level more than 125 feet below the surface level, which leads to the water tunnels. The first level into the ground houses an empty rectangular chamber. Due to the uneven wall surfaces, the room varies in width and height, with the room tilting upwards from the point it meets with the shaft. Descending further leads to the second level chamber. This chamber room has 7 compartments that were meant to serve as a sarcophagus, a resting place for the guardians which tended to be the highest of priests. Most of these sarcophagi are currently missing, leaving just 2 behind. The third level is a large room flooded with water. At the centre of the room beneath the water's surface is a stone slab that covers a black basalt sarcophagus. The clear water in the third chamber is around a thigh high, and gets deeper in some parts of the room. Some believe the third chamber is where the god Osiris was buried, and this is why the shaft is called the Osiris shaft. To the left of the room is a tunnel entrance that leads to other tunnels to other pyramids. Egyptian authorities believe that there is a wealth of information and discoveries under the water, but have been reluctant to fully explore. The Lloyds Bank Coprolite. Of all the discoveries that are known in the archaeological world, one would least expect that human waste would have any significance, but that is not the case of the Lloyds Bank Coprolite. The Lloyds Bank Coprolite is a human dung specimen that was found in 1972. This was by archaeologists from York who were exhuming the Viking settlement of Jorvik, which is said to be present York in England. The coprolite was found beneath the location of what was to become a branch of Lloyds Bank in York in 1972. When it was discovered, the archaeologists did not know what it was. It was brown in colour, long and quite hard. Not knowing what it was then taken for further studies by the archaeologists, where its identity was soon discovered. It measured around 20 centimeters or 98 inches long, and 5 centimeters or 2 inches wide. The size of the coprolite makes it possibly one of the largest fossilized human feces to be found. The individual who delivered this impressive leftover must have been enormous in stature. From the analysis of the stool, it showed the person consumed more of bread and meats, and that there was presence of hundreds of parasitic worm eggs or intestine worms. Another reason why this coprolite is essential is because of the time it dates back during the Viking settlement, which is around 1,200 years ago. The Lloyds Bank Coprolite is right now in plain view at the Jorvik Viking Centre. The firm actually spent money to make the dung release a smell that is accurate of its original odour. This was when it was first delivered 1,200 years ago. At a point in 2003, the coprolite fell while it was being shown to guests and it broke into 3 pieces. Luckily, researchers have found a way to restore it to its original form. Most of the tourist guests that visit the museum do mainly so to view the 1,200-year-old coprolite. Lake Winnipesaukee Mystery Stone. The mystery stone was found in Lake Winnipesaukee in New Hampshire in 1872. It's presumed to be an out-of-place artefact. It's regarded out of place because the rock type is not known to New Hampshire, nor is there a similar making or design in the United States. The stone was found when a businessman hired some workers to dig a hole for a fence post. The shape of the stone is egg-like and is approximately 2.5 inches thick and 4 inches long, dark in colour with various carved symbols. There are openings drilled in the 2 ends of the stones, and it was penetrated through from start to finish with various sized tools and cleaned along its surface. On one side there appears to be a carving showing an ear of a corn, with 17 kernels in a row and other figures. On another side we have inverted rows and moon shapes and dots in a spiral. The stone was initially in possession of the businessman until he passed away. He then passed it on to his daughter, who then donated the stone to the New Hampshire Historical Society in 1927, and this is where it still can be found. Archaeologists have given no clear purpose to the stone. However, there are many theories. In 1931, a letter was written to the New Hampshire Historical Society, suggesting the stone was in all likelihood a thunderstone which exists in mythology and folklore. It was also suggested the stone might be an ancient tool that symbolises a treaty between two tribes, but such a hypothesis did not add up. There's other theories that suggest the stone is a hoax. So what do you think of these 5 historical mysteries? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.